Hello there, Maverick Currency traders. This is Rob Reinhold. It is August 16th, and let's break down the currency recap. In this session, of course, as always, we're going to cover the trading day. We're going to break down what happened, what was the news, what the broad markets did. Broad markets really got hammered today. Lots of technical damage done. We're going to look at the market. We're going to rescore everything. And then, as always, we're always looking to pair up the strongest currencies against the weakest currencies.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
Let's start off looking at where we were last night. So last night, we didn't have anything showing a ton of strength. We had a bunch of currencies, all the European currencies and the dollar and yen, all at +1. And we had the Aussie and Kiwi as weak and all the cryptos leaning toward the weak side. Let's take a look at what happened today and what some of the changes were. First off, let's look at the news of the day. We did hear from the RBNZ last night. They did not raise rates, which was expected, and they also signaled the end to their rate hikes. Now look, this was mostly expected by the market. We didn't see a huge movement by the Kiwi, but it is telling the market that there is no more interest rate raises coming from Kiwi, which means if other central banks indicate that they're going to be raising rates, that is going to be negative for the Kiwi because they're not keeping up. We also had the CPI come in hotter than expected in England. This was a report I said that I was really watching, and I thought this report could push the pound up to new highs, and it did. This is exactly the number I wanted. I talked about being long pound this week, and pound was the best trade of the day. And we're going to take a look at equities. Boy, equities broke a lot of technical support today. We will be looking at these charts. Let's take a look at the performance of the day. As I said earlier, the pound was the best performing, and the yen and Aussie were the weakest. This is exactly what we called over the weekend. Strong pound, strong Swiss franc, strong dollar, and weak yen, Aussie, and Kiwi. This is exactly the move we got today. We take a look at this chart here. It's really hard to see this because the crypto loss was so big. 4.4%. Cryptos got hammered. But take a look at the S&P, down 0.75%. We're going to take a look at the chart, and you're going to see there was a lot of technical damage done in the S&P. Bitcoin Cash got absolutely hammered, but look, it's just giving back a lot of what it gained about 2 months ago. So we're continually seeing Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin shed lots of percentage, while Bitcoin and Ethereum are really just going sideways, going nowhere. What I really wanted to focus on in this session is the damage done to the S&P. Look at this chart. We were right there, and we talked about being at a point where the market was either going to bounce or is going to pierce. And you can see we bottomed out here, had a little bit of a bounce, and over the last 2 days, we have absolutely struggled. And now we are clearly below support lines. We are clearly below the 50-period moving average. We talked about this in the currency room session of the weekend. And we said, we think there's going to be a pierce of this line. Now we said, what a pierce means is that it recovers fairly quickly. So let's say tomorrow we get a big green candle and it recovers back up above. This is not technically a violation. Yes, it did violate all the lines, but recovered it very quickly. This would be more bullish in equities. If we do not get a bounce and we either go down further or we simply languish here sideways for a couple days, this is negative. We're going to have to go to a risk-off sentiment here in equities. But where we are right here, right now, I've got us at a -1. We are clearly below the 20. There's no question about it. I will make this 50 MA red if we do not recover above that line. Then we're going to go to a -2, and that's when we say, hey, we're really leaning to the bearish side. Let's take a look at the calendar and see what is in store over the next 24 hours. Lots of information we've got over the last 24. Looking forward, you can see we really only have one report, Australian employment change, and then we're really done for economic news for the rest of the week. We said that Tuesday, Wednesday were going to be the best trading days, and they have been. This whole week has been a really good trading week. So if you're trading Aussie tonight, be aware 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time is the employment report. I will definitely be watching this one. Let's go in and take a look at some charts. Let's go see what the biggest movers in the currency world was today. I want to start off with the pound. Now take a look at this pound chart. I'm going to go to a daily chart. And we were talking about the pound breaking out this week. And sure enough, look at that breakout. That is a really nice, beautiful, strong breakout with extension. Everything looks really great on pound. If you zoom out on pound, so again, this is a daily chart, you can see that this is a very big breakout. This is a very significant breakout to where we are the highest we've been in years. So a lot of money is coming into pound. And it's because they think the Bank of England is still going to be raising rates aggressively, while a lot of the other banks, like the RBNZ, are not going to be raising rates anymore. So as you can see, pound is looking great. We come in here to a 4-hour chart. It looks great. The only question is, where's the entry? And so we look at our entries, and we know that things base and run. Base and run. We probably are done with a run here. So I think you need to wait for the base here on pound, but I think pound looks really good to the upside. I also want to take a look at dollar. Dollar here has based. So again, we know that what they do is they run. They either pull back and run or base. We had a run here and we based. Take a look. We are now breaking out of this base that we've been in for about the last 30 or 40 hours. That's significant here. So for me, looking at what do I like better on the long side, do I like pound or dollar? Pound clearly has been where all the action's been. It's a little extended. So I'm actually really liking dollar here over the next 24 hours. If I was trading for the next 3 days, I would choose pound all day long. Pound is looking fantastic. But if you're looking for an entry just over the next 8 to 24 hours, I actually like dollar a little better. Let's check in on the weak currencies. We got yen. Yen looks awful here. And yen is trading right at this support line. If it breaks this support line, it is ready to go. This is major support here on yen. So I like yen on the short side. We take a look at Aussie. Aussie is falling. However, we've had 4 candles. We still might have some more left. The question is, what's the better short? Is it Aussie or Kiwi? And when I take a look at the Kiwi chart, I can see that the Kiwi had this big fall and we've had this base here and we're trading down at the bottom of the base. I actually like Kiwi better for a short over the next 24 hours. Let's update our velocity scoreboard. Let's just put all of the cryptos in the toilet. They're all at -3. Let's take a look at what the dollar and yen did. Dollar strengthened, yen weakened. And we saw that big move in the pound. Pound's looking great. A little extended. So if we're going to take a look at current trades here, this is what I'm looking for. I like dollar over the next 24 hours, but I like pound over the next couple of weeks and days. So short-term trades, I'm looking at dollar yen long, and I'm looking at Kiwi dollar short. If I'm looking for something a little bit longer term over days or weeks, then I'm looking at pound yen, pound Aussie, and pound Kiwi. So let's take a look at some of those currency crosses right now, see if we can find some possible entry points. My analysis says I want to be long dollar here over the short term. And I've got both the yen and the Kiwi as potential shorts. I have to answer the question, what's the better short? Now, the way I can do that is literally pair them up together. So if I'm trying to decide what is better, what's more weak, the pound or the yen, I can go to the pound yen cross. And you can see it's been going flat, telling us that there's really not much difference in going short Kiwi or short yen. So it doesn't really matter. So let's pair up both of them and see what has a better looking chart. I talked about really liking dollar yen on the long side. Once it broke above 145, I said we can go all the way up to 150 before there's any resistance. So here's the daily chart on this. I mean, the daily chart looks fantastic. I like dollar yen. The only question is entry points. We don't want to be chasing them. We want to get in off of, again, breaks of bases. And you can see we just recently had a break of a base. This was about a 40-hour base here. Now look, we also had a base here that only went up a little bit. We might get the same thing. To me, this one is ready to go. So I have no problem at all entering here at 146.25. I'll put a stop, probably under this parabolic SAR, and ride this one higher if it does go higher. So dollar yen looks good, but here is the question. Does Kiwi dollar look better? And you can see when I'm looking at Kiwi dollar, we're really getting about the same pattern. I actually like this chart even better. We've got another base here, but we're just breaking down below. I like this one even better on a chart. So this one is a short on Kiwi dollar. 59.29 is where it is here. I like a stop up above here, 59.90 on the stop. And then I will be using trailing stops on the way down to lock in gains. So for me, I like Kiwi dollar the best. Wrapping this up, the only big piece of news we have over the next 24 hours is the Australian employment report tonight at 9:30. If you're playing Aussie, you have to be dialed in and be watching that and making sure that your trade is exactly where you want it to be and all your stops in place. Other than that, I think it's going to be a decent trading environment. It's not going to be a great one. We saw the pound up 0.5% today, yen down 0.25%. I think that's about the kind of moves we're going to get. So don't expect there to be 300, 400, 500 pip runs over the next couple of days. I could be wrong, but just right now, that's not what the market is telling me where we are. Always play your relative strength and weakness. Right now, we've got a lot of strength in pound, got some good strength in dollar, weakness in the yen, Aussie, and Kiwi. Stay there. We've been playing with those along with the euro and the Swiss franc for the last 2 months, and it's been fantastic. Yes, I know that will change sometime, but until it does, let's keep ringing the register and grabbing those pips. Goodbye, everybody.